Is Code Lyoko a bad show? Now that Code Lyoko is back on Netflix, which you now know if you didn't know, a lot of people are suddenly remembering this early 2000s sci-fi cartoon from France. Because this isn't the kind of show that you remember on your own. You must be reminded, and then your memories of Code Lyoko bubble to the surface from the depths of time. With these memories, there are generally two responses. Some people get really excited, remembering a beloved childhood show, and immediately name their favorite Lyoko warrior and talk about how cool it all was. That's always heartwarming to see. Others remember the show and complain that the dubbing's bad, the episodes are repetitive and predictable, and the elevator door is backwards. Not to mention the unique artistic choices. All valid complaints, by the way. I'm not here to pick apart the technical aspects of the show, though. I'm just looking to answer a few simple questions. Is Code Lyoko a bad show? Are the critics right? And should you rewatch this show, or would it just ruin your nostalgia? Oh, and before I start rambling too much, let's thank today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. Kidding. I just wanted to make sure you know this is by no means a perfect analysis. It's mainly based on my thoughts, feelings, and observations of the fandom, which I've been a part of for over a decade. Oh my god. Let's start with the middle question. Are the critics right? Yes, they are. Pretty much every complaint I've heard about Code Lyoko absolutely holds true. You could find fault in nearly every aspect of the show. Except for the theme song. The theme song is amazing. This is not negotiable. I wish I could play it for you here. I really do. But I think I would get a copyright claim. Here we are, going far. I should stop. I'll get copyright claimed. Oh no. Anyway, let's talk about the flaws. I could talk about the janky early 2000s CGI, the animation errors, the fact that Lyoko combat is inconsistent, life points doubly so. That one time Yumi opened her mouth and Oryx's voice came out.
I hope he finds the right solution before Xana attacks again. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The reuse of footage over and over and over and over again. But frankly, I don't feel qualified to talk about any of that. So I'll skip to what I do know. Story and character. For those of you who don't know or need a refresher, Code Lyoko is about a group of kids who fight a malicious artificial intelligence named Xana on a virtual world called Lyoko, where they have superpowers and goofy costumes and fight monsters, so Resident Evil Aelita can very slowly deactivate towers Xana has activated in order to cause some catastrophe in the real world, like, I don't know, giant teddy bear, for example. This is from the first episode! This show is ridiculous and I love it! I did that in one breath. Code Lyoko tries to strike many balances. Between 2D animation and CGI, between character-driven slice of life and sci-fi action, between episodic and serial story structure. It's in this third balancing act that I don't think they quite succeeded, due to a difference of opinion between the original creators and the producers. In fact, if you watch the original concept pitch Garage Kids, you can see just how much changed. Though some things are best left in the past. Looking at you, Puffy Pants. Puff pants, derp face, puff pants, derp face, puff pants, derp face, puff pants, derp face. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ah! One thing that was added for the first season was the return to the past function of the supercomputer, which is the in-universe explanation for everything going back to the way it was at the start of the episode, like nothing ever happened. But it's not like most episodic shows where it owns that. Season 1 pretends to have a progressing plot. There are 26 episodes in Season 1, and there is plot in 3 of them, maybe 4 of them. If you count one from earlier that kind of gives you some context about the later 3, which are the end of the season. Still, please do watch Season 1 because it has a lot of great moments and great characterization that's kind of swallowed up by plot in some of the later seasons. Plus, that's the last time they're happy. Season 2 and 3 are a lot more serialized. There's a lot more plot to be had. Things actually happen and progress forward, as you see. The show came under new management, and they decided, hey, maybe there should be literally any consequence to manipulating the very fabric of time. Also, there's a huge update in graphics, so that's nice. Season 4, however, falls back into the same habit as Season 1 of doing the same thing over and over again. Except now the pattern is find supercomputers, fight this guy, destroy supercomputers, rinse, repeat, then rush to the final battle because the show got canceled on you. The last half of the season wasn't even on TV. The second issue is wasted potential, which holds the show back from being really great. You have this amazing setup. The mystique of the virtual world, the conspiracy behind the creators of the supercomputer, these complicated and relatable young teens who must carry the responsibility of saving the world in secret while still attending middle school. There are so many aspects of this world and this story that could have been fleshed out to create a much more engaging show. Instead, it stays relatively shallow, only vaguely alluding to the deeper lore this world has to offer. The one thing that is really hard to critique about this show is the Lyoko warriors themselves. They're unique and complicated, both as individuals and in their relationships with each other. You connect to them and their emotions despite the fantastical situation they find themselves in. They become friends. You're a part of the gang and you're on this journey with them. Maybe that's why the last few moments of the original series always hit so hard, no matter how many times I see it. It's real sad. Let's put it this way. There's a reason people are still creating stories for them to live and breathe in 13 years later. And they'll continue to create stories about it. This fandom is never going to die. People have tried. However, it's in the contradiction between these strong characters and the glaring flaws in the series where Code Lyoko finds its greatest strength. Filling in the gaps and theorizing about what's missing is half the fun. And if you don't want to do it yourself, there are tons of talented people online who've already done it for you. They see the lost opportunities and say, gosh darn it, I guess I'll flesh this world out myself. Whether it's working out the theoretical mechanics of the supercomputer and virtualization, imagining everything that led up to the supercomputer's creation, doing in-depth character studies, or even making my immortal, but make it Code Lyoko. The fandom continues to amaze me. Alright, I kinda drifted off there. Let's get back to the questions. Is Code Lyoko a bad show? It kinda depends on what you mean by bad. Are the critics right? Yes. The flaws in this show are large and numerous, and if you can't get past that, then that's fair. Is it worth cracking open that Netflix account and watching Code Lyoko again if you remember it fondly? Well, you have to keep in mind that watching it today is never going to be the same as watching it back then. Code Lyoko is very much a product of its time, a time when rapidly advancing technology was both awed and feared. A time when virtual reality was something you could only dream of, instead of something you can access by picking up a headset at your local GameStop. A little bit of that magic is going to be gone. I think, though, if you remember this show fondly, it's because it captured your imagination. If you go back, and I hope you do, it might not be as good as you remember it through the nostalgia goggles, but I think it'll capture your imagination all over again. And afterwards, be sure to hop on the internet for the thousands of works that make up the other half of the experience. It might be a bit of a garbage show, but it's our garbage show. Oh, and you can skip Code Lyoko Evolution. If you want me to make another video on my thoughts about that, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and leave a comment, because your words mean so much to me and I'd love to continue the discussion in the comment section. And as always, guys, have an awesome day. Ta-ta! Okay, bye.